Welcome back to the warm-up. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the NBA draft happening in tomorrow. Obviously, Victor Wembanyama is going to go first in the NBA draft to the San Antonio Spurs, but I figured that was pretty easy to figure out. I mean, unless barring a trade, but I doubt that's going to happen. I think the Spurs will remain with the first pick. There are a lot of good prospects, but I really think that there are 5 solid prospects, and it drops out from there. Not like tremendously, but also with the teams that are available to select players in the lottery. I think you get some interesting, by the time some players are gone, I think there are teams that needed those players but don't have a high enough pick to get them, and so I think it just leaves it a little bit weird. Then there are teams like the Orlando Magic at 6 who just they've had a bunch of lottery picks in the past couple years, and I don't know where they're going. We're gonna find out where the direction is. So Victor at 1. 2 is the Charlotte Hornets, and I fought back and I've talked to a lot of different people about this certain pick, and I think this pick changes the rest of the draft, at least the lottery, because the Charlotte Hornets have LaMelo Ball, but Scoot Henderson is available, and he is by far the most talented player left in the draft after Victor. And I was thinking okay, maybe the Hornets take someone like Brandon Miller, take someone like Jairus Walker, but at this point I think that you just got to take, the Hornets just aren't good, and so I think you just got to take the highest draft pick that you can, the most talented player, and just run with it. LaMelo Ball is injury prone. He was injured pretty much half the season. They didn't make the playoffs, and so I think that drafting a guy like Scoot, who seems to be very, very strong, very well put together physically, takes care of himself, very focused on the game of basketball, hasn't run into any problems in terms of lifestyle stuff off the court. His sign, skipped his senior year, played in the G League for 2 years. I think he's done phenomenal taking that route instead of the college route in terms of composure and being mature. And so taking a guy like that is huge for that organization. Alongside MJ being just coming off from selling the team, and there are more buyers. Shout out J. Cole for being a part-time. I think he's a part owner for the Hornets. So I think the Hornets take Scoot at number 2. Number 3, I can't see anything else except for one of the Thompson twins. I think I like Amen Thompson a little bit more, but they're really the same player to me. Not the same player. They have different aspects, but I think either one of those would be good for the third pick is what I'm getting at. Even though you have Dame, I don't know if Dame's going to be leaving, but I think once again these 4 guys so far, Victor, Scoot, and the Thompson twins are consensus easy for me top 5. They're going top 5. And then it gets to the 4th pick, and the other top 5 guy, the last top 5 guy, is Brandon Miller, who I've been watching and have watched this season. And he's been really interesting to me. He shot the heck out of the ball this season. And at first watching him, I was like, okay, he's just a better shooter than DeAndre Hunter, but does everything else. But no, he's got a pretty high IQ and reads the game pretty well. So I think taking him at 4 with the Rockets would be a good move. The Pistons have number 5, and this is where it gets interesting because the Rockets have good guard play, the Pistons have good guard play, the Magic have good guard play, and the Pacers have good guard play. And so one of the 2 Thompson twins, I think both the Thompson twins are guards. If you move them to forward, you're screwed. I don't think that they're working for that. That doesn't work for them. So I would say that it's going to be interesting to see where both twins go. I mean, unless they drop to 9, which I don't think one of the twins will drop to 8 or 9, which is the Wizards or Jazz pick at 8 and 9 respectively. But that's honestly, I have no idea. I'm not even going to give a prediction because I have no idea where they're going to be going. There are guys like Jairus Walker, who I think has a really good high IQ. And from what I've watched from him at Houston, Talented player. He's a high IQ player, 6'8". I think he played the 5 in college. That's not going to work out in the NBA. I think he's going to be a 4, but a 4 in the sense of like Grant Williams, Draymond Green, PJ Tucker, strong, big guys who have pretty high IQ on defense, mainly defensively, but also being able to space the floor and get their guys open shots. And so I think that's going to be a good pick for anybody, but I don't think he's going to be able to go top 5. I just think it's less of the players in this current draft that make this a weird draft. I think it's the state and order of the teams in which, I think it's more of the order in which the teams are set that is kind of throwing this off a little bit. I mean, it just sounds weird. From reading at the first 10 picks, Spurs, Hornets, Blazers, Rockets, Pistons, Magic, Pacers, Wizards, Jazz, Mavericks. I just think it's a little off. I don't know. Everybody needs help here, but they need very specific help, and I just don't think the kind of players that are in this draft or the players that will be available in this draft at their respective pick is going to help their franchise. So, anyways, I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see where this is going to go. Shout out Victor for going number 1. I really think the Hornets should take Scoot at number 2. I really like the Thompson Twins, and I like Brandon Miller and Jairus Walker. There's like 6 guys in there that I really, really like. Going down further, I've heard a lot about Grady Dick. I didn't really watch him in the March Madness tournament. And I also really like Nick Smith out of Arkansas. So, very interesting. We're going to be able to see what these guys are going to do in the league. It's going to be fun to go to Summer League. I think I might go to a game. That'd be really fun to go to and to do some coverage on. But this is the draft of Victor Wembanyama. This is not about anybody else. Potentially Scoot Henderson, maybe the Twins, one of the Twins. But this is the draft for Victor Wembanyama. And I think he's going to come into the league, barring injury, and put the league on notice immediately. I think people were saying that a lot about Chet last year, but I really think this is the time for Victor to come in and to have a rookie just really do some damage. So we're going to be able to see what is happening tomorrow in the draft. I'm going to do an immediate draft recap, kind of go back over what I thought was going to happen. But anyways, we will catch you guys after the draft.